يا طبطب ودلع يا يقول انا اتغيرت عليه انا ازعل اولع ما هو كل همه ازاي يرضيه. يا طبطب ودلع يا يقول انا اتغيرت عليه انا ازعل اولع ما هو كل همه ازاي يرضيه.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن سلك مسلكه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فأنا أخوكم في الدين عبد الواحد العزيز أكيولا، وأنا مشهور بأوتوميشن. وإن شاء الله في هذه اللحظة سنواصل مما توقفنا سابقا في الدراسة السابقة. توقفنا عند الحركات المدود، ألف المد، واو المد، وياء المد. وإن شاء الله الآن سندرس الفرق أو الفرق بين همزة القطع وهمزة الوصل. همزة القطع وهمزة الوصل. All praises, all adoration, all thanks due to Allah, the creator of the universe. And we also seek for his blessings and mercy to shower it on the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, his companions, his household, and whoever follows his steps to the day of judgment. So alhamdulillah, afterwards. My name is Abdul Wahid Aziz Akinola, and I'm popularly known as Automation. So today we are going to be talking about another thing. And what is the thing? The thing is Hamzatul Wasli wa Hamzatul Qat'i. Obviously, we have treated al-harakat from Fatha to Yawul Mad. So now we are going to be talking about Hamzatul Qat'i and Hamzatul Wasli. When we say Hamzatul Qat'i, Hamzatul Qat'i is prominent. It is obvious. People know it, but they don't know it is called Hamzatul Qat'i. Alright, so when you say Hamzatul Qat'i, it is when you say alif and then you say hamza on it or beneath it. When you say alif, hamza on it or beneath it. Do not forget that in our previous class, in one of our previous classes, I said that alif and hamza, they are the same because they produce the same sound when you add halka to them. When you say alif fatiha, it gives what? A. When you say hamza fatiha, it gives what? A. So same thing applies here. That is why we are able to add hamza to alif. Like when you write alif, you say hamza on it. So whenever you say alif with hamza, it is called hamzatul qat'i. It is called what? Hamzatul qat'i. It's either it is being written on the top of ha or beneath alif or above alif. So we call it hamzatul qat'i. This hamzatul qat'i does not have any Palos principles. Whenever you say it in the middle, in the beginning, you pronounce it like alif fatiha akala. Can you see that? Whenever you say it in the middle, you pronounce it like sa'ala, sa'ala. Whenever you say it at the end of any word, you pronounce it like normally, like qara'a, qara'a. Yeah. So now let's go to the Hamzatul Wasl. Hamzatul Wasl is a bit palos, but it is simple as well when you get it right. So Hamzatul Wasl is another alif with small sword. So I'm very sure that people will be confused that why do I say small sword? Yeah, if you check your Qur'an, look at your Qur'an, go to Surah Al-Fatiha, Alhamdu, look at the alif of Alhamdu, the first letter in that verse. So look at it, you see small sword on that alif. Check your Qur'an, not your other book, Qur'an. So you see small sword, not like Fatiha. That is called Hamzatul Wasli. That is called what? Hamzatul Wasli. And this Hamzatul Wasli has principles, obviously. It's like 4 to 5 principles. So the first principle is that whenever you see it at the beginning of any word, whenever you see it at the beginning of any word, I mean the alif with small sword, you are going to look at the third letter to it. Like, look at it, for example, I write alif, jim, lam, sin, like ijlis, alif, jim sukun, and then lam fatiha, then sin sukun. So I want to pronounce that, and I have Hamzatul Wasl at the first letter. You're going to look at the third letter. What is the third letter here? We have lam, and the lam has what? Kesra. So you're going to be using kesra to pronounce Hamzatul Wasl, it will become what? Ijlis. Ijlis. So also when the third one has Dhamma, you're going to use, when the third one has Fatha, you use Kesra to pronounce it also. For example, Iftah, Idhab, Idhab, Idhab. Look at the ha. Ha is what? Ha has Fatha, and we use Kesra to pronounce the Hamzatul Wasl. Do you get that? So we have, that's the second principle. I mean, whenever it has the third letter to it has Fatha, you use what? You use Kesra to pronounce it. So the third principle is what? Whenever the third letter to it has Dhamma, use Dhamma to pronounce it. For example, Udkhul. Udkhul. The Kha has Dhamma, and obviously we use Dhamma to pronounce it. That is what? Udkhul. That's the third principle. So the fourth principle is whenever you see Alif, Al, and that Hamzatul Wasli, and Lam follows, Lam, making Al, so Lam follows. You're not going to be using that the previous principle. You are going to add Fatha. That is when you use Fatiha to pronounce Hamzatul Wasli. Do you get that? So it becomes what? Alhamdu. Look at Surah Al-Fatiha now. It's not possible to say Ilhamdu. You know the Ha has Fatiha. Then you now use Kesra to, no. The principle is not used that way. So the fourth principle is that whenever you see Al, the Lam follows Hamzatul Wasli, you are going to do what? You are going to obviously use Fatiha to pronounce the Hamzatul Wasli. So it becomes Al. Do you get that? Al. Alright. So the last principle here for today, inshallah, is when Hamza follows the Hamzatul Wasli. When Hamza follows Hamzatul Wasli, obviously it's changed. Like it changes to another thing else. So you change it to Maddi. It becomes what? Maddi. For example, in Surah Al-Ahqaf, Ituni, we call it Maddul Badal. Hamzatul Wasli comes first, then Hamza follows. So you cannot say Ituni, you cannot say Ituni. If you want to assume that the Alif, Hamzatul Wasli is at the beginning. So you say what? Ituni, not Ituni. Do you get that? So Ituni, so we call it what? Maddul Badal. Maddul Badal. Alright, this Hamzatul Wasli, when you get it, when you find it in the middle of any word, it is what? It's not effective at all. It's not effective. When you find it at the end of any word, it is not effective as well. Do you get that? So Alhamdulillah, this is where I'm going to be stopping. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and also have your answer in the comments, because I'll be asking questions now. So the question for today is, in the previous episode, I made mention of 4 ways by which you can join you can join 2 surahs together. So I mentioned 4 ways, and I said some ways are acceptable. How many ways are acceptable? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.